All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to another episode of Simply Finance with Shane White. I'm stoked today. I got the man, the myth, the legend, David Meltzer on the podcast. Without really going into a ton of what he's done, if you don't know, you will soon know. Well, first of all, welcome, David, to the show.
Thanks for having me, Shane, and I appreciate the opportunity to share my journey, hopefully some dummy tax and wisdom that allows people to make more money, help more people, and have more fun with their lives.
Love that. Love that intro. Appreciate it, man. That's great. I think first and foremost, would you mind giving everyone just a little bit, like as I do my research and I've followed you online for a little while, you've done a ton of different things. So on here, we always talk about going from 0 to 1, but you've done that multiple times. So I think like first and foremost, could you maybe just give the high level, just like what are some of the businesses you've been involved in during your career to date?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to be rich when I was little, so it took me in a variety of different directions. Wanted to be a pro football player. That ended in college when I realized I was an average Division III football player. Then I wanted to be a doctor. That ended when my brother told me doctors had to be in hospitals. I
Love.
then
Oh
wanted to
yeah.
be a lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer, so I went to law school. But I picked up on things. I reverse engineered the law profession to be an oil and gas litigator simply because they made the most and it would give me the most and biggest chance of buying my mom a house and a car, since we had 6 kids in a 2-bedroom apartment where she packed my dinner in a paper bag, working 2 jobs. I was pretty motivated and inspired to help my mom. But when I graduated law school, I chose between being an oil and gas litigator for an oil company and being in the internet selling legal research online in 1992. Even though my mom told me the internet was going to be a fad, I took the sales job because it had a comp plan of 250, where those oil and gas jobs started at 150.
Oh wow.
I utilized time management and perspective to make over $1 million 9 months out of law school. West Publishing, the company that owned Westlaw, sold for $3.4 billion in 1995, setting me off to the Silicon Valley as a internet guru in the mid 90s. So I worked in the middleware space, raising hundreds of millions of dollars for a company called EveryPath, transcoding the internet onto WAP phones, flip phones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then Samsung hired me to run their smartphone division. Although in 1999, they weren't called smartphones, they were called convergence devices, because you converge the computer, a Windows run computer with a cell phone. So I ran that division, multimillionaire by the time I was 30. I met a guy named Leigh Steinberg, who most notable sports agent in the world. They made the movie Jerry Maguire about Leigh
Yeah. Yeah.
Steinberg. So I ended up, after meeting him 48 hours later, becoming CEO of the most notable sports agency in the world. I met Warren Moon, the Hall of Fame quarterback there. And when Leigh had his personal issues 12 years ago, we spun off, which is globally known as one of the best sports marketing companies in the world, Sports One Marketing. 4 years ago, I realized, after meeting a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk at the Super Bowl, he needed some help with his sports agency. He suggested that I build a brand. I had already written some books. I spoke around the world. I executive coached with some of the biggest CEOs and boards in the world. He decided that, 50-year-old middle-aged mutant turtle would be good for the internet. So I started a podcast. I started putting out content to help people. I've been on a mission for 20 years to empower people to make more money, help more people, and have more fun, to now empower over 1 billion people to be happy that I have the social media backing that I have. But I have a podcast called The Playbook, top
It's an awesome
in
one.
the world, 800 episodes, all the billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, entertainers. I have a TV show called Elevator Pitch with Entrepreneurs, 6 seasons of that as executive producer and host. I started my own TV show called 2 Minute Drill, which is on Bloomberg TV and Amazon, which is the only pitch only show, $50,000 of cash and prizes. And I have a new TV show we film in July, which came from a digital show, also on Amazon Prime Video, which is called Office Hours, where I bring those billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, entertainers onto a TV show to talk about their playbooks to success, their ways their financial successes came in the variety of places. So we have Cameron Diaz, Tillman Fertitas, and Arthur Blank. We have unbelievable people, Marshall Falk. The list goes on and on. But it's going to be a blockbuster. But my main purpose, all the books, speaking, coaching, TV shows, movies I've done, It's all for one purpose. I do free trainings on Friday for this purpose, empower over 1 billion people to be happy, to teach them how to make money, help people, and have fun.
That's amazing, man. I mean, what a resume. I think it's crazy to think about like all those things you've done. I mean, there were one thing after another. But did you it sounds like the key to a lot of this is you were always kind of pushing the needle forward and you were always looking for the next big thing, how to make more money, how to become more successful. And it sounds like a lot of the conversations, the networking you had unlocked a lot of that. Is there like one thing that stands out to you when I think of it's going 0 to 1? Like you did it so many times. So is there something like behind the scenes that was key to a lot of that?
Yeah, the enjoyment of the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential. Early on, the potential was to make as much money as I could. It wasn't really about helping anybody or having fun. It was literally to buy my mom a house and a car. So I became very consistent at enjoying it in persistent manner, never quitting because I never believed I had a lot of talent. I always thought I could outwork you. That shifted. One of the things I left out because you asked for my journey is uh, as I started working with Leigh Steinberg, I lost over $100 million, went bankrupt,
Oh, wow.
and I re-engineered my relationship with money. I started to not buy things I didn't need, or more things I didn't need, or different things I didn't need, or buy things to impress people, or buy things to impress people I didn't like. I shifted the paradigm from giving to receive to receiving to give. I shifted the paradigm from trying to be wealthy, be happy, be healthy to I am healthy, I am happy, I am wealthy. What am I doing to interfere with that? And once
Got
I
it.
shifted that paradigm, I allowed with the same behaviors, the same consistent, persistent behaviors to detach my emotions from the outcome of making more money and attach it to the enjoyment of the process, the journey, the consistent, persistent pursuit. I told my friend Chris Gardner, who did the movie Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith.
Oh, yeah.
I said, dude, you got it backwards. He said, what are you talking about? I made millions of dollars with this book and movie and I speak around the world. I said, yeah, but you're teaching kids the wrong thing. I said, there is no pursuit of happiness. You are already happy. Happiness
Ah,
is the pursuit. You got to enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. You have to know your values. You have to know your what, your who, your how, your now, and apply the why to the what, the who, the how, and the now. And once I created those 5 daily practices, which by the way, Shane, I will give my book, my ebook, my audiobook, I'll sign a book, send it to you, ship it, pay
oh,
for it
thank
all.
you. Appreciate
The
it.
5 daily practices, not just you, but all your listeners.
Okay,
Just
there we go.
email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Free. I do not charge for anything. I'm here to empower you. I make enough money. I don't need to make it off of Shane or any of his listeners. So just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I'll give you my books, my guides. Those 5 daily practices change everybody's lives, and I'm happy to give it away for free.
Appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And what a great gift to the audience. I mean, thank you. And that's amazing. And I think it's such a cool takeaway as people are listening to this to think about this the paradigm shift you did on your happiness pursuit. Um, Now, when you were going from, legal professional in the oil and gas industry, and you not only like jumped on what you did, but you jumped industries, was there any keys there to like how you maybe got an opportunity or you had an idea, but how did you like decide to like make these like huge pivotal jumps in your career? Because I would argue like going as a lawyer in the oil and gas industry and becoming a CEO of one of the biggest sports agencies on the planet, like most people don't see that line connecting, right? And so like what were some of those keys? I think a lot of people I know that listen to this, they might, work for a corporation but have a great idea, and like what's like a suggestion on like finding their best potential or biggest potential, I guess.
And I think this is critical in this accelerated time of change the pandemic has presented to us. And what I tell people all the time is take inventory of your skills, take inventory of your knowledge, not just what you know, but who you know. That's part of your knowledge. And apply as well the desire that you have. See, the common denominator between billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers, the spirit of excellence comes from the desire that you must be what you can be. And if you can take inventory of your skills, your knowledge, and desire, align it, find how it's synergistic or supplementary to what's doing well today, what may be stable today, or what you think will be doing well in the future. And that's exactly what I continue to do is I did my best. I learned as many lessons as I could. I had fun, enjoyed that process of consistent, persistent pursuit of the skills and the knowledge that I need, whether it was to be a football player, a doctor, a lawyer, or an internet guru, or a finance person, or the CEO of the smartphone division of the biggest manufacturer of phones in the world, or the most notable sports agency. All I was doing was applying my skills, my knowledge, and desire to what I thought was doing well, what I thought would be stable at the times I needed stability, or what I thought would do or be doing well in the future, which is when I took a lottery ticket and applied to, for example, the middleware space or the phone
Sure.
convergence devices. And the funny thing was, I was too early, right? I was okay on the middleware, but I was wrong about that being the future, because why transcode the internet onto a WAP phone when you can use a Windows or an iOS browser in order to effectuate the same thing? You don't need to transcode into XML. You can directly access the data the same as if you were on a computer. And then, seeing the growth in the skills, knowledge, and desire I had to apply it to sports agentry and then to sports marketing, all it was knowing myself and knowing I can't apply outside of me to what's not inside of me. So I take
Ah.
inventory of what's inside: skills, knowledge, and desire.
So would you then argue that like you can kind of self-teach yourself if you have if you have a desire to do something, but maybe you're, an accountant over here, but you want to be a sports agent. Bad example, but I'll use that one.
No, it's fine.
I mean, is that like something you're like, you just got to go in, you got to learn how to do it, you got to go meet the right people, and you got to make the jump, and you got to try to go for it.
Look, radical humility is the key to that. Understanding, one, what you don't know, right? Because I don't know what I don't know, but that's the knowing the what. What do I want personally, experientially, giving wise and receiving wise? Then applying what to the who. Who's where I need to be. So for me, if I want to be in sports agentry, I find the person that sits in the situation I want to be in, Leigh
Mm,
Steinberg,
yeah,
and I ask him for directions on how do you get to be Leigh Steinberg. Then you meet Warren Moon and you say, hey, how do I get to be Warren Moon? Or then apply it somewhere else. And now today, what's been a blessing, because I believe the greatest blessing is to elevate others, to elevate yourself, is I'm now the person that people come to and ask for directions. They
definitely.
don't have to pay the dummy tax. Look, I can't pay your federal or state taxes, but I promise you, you add up all the state taxes you pay, the federal taxes you pay, the sales taxes you pay, the luxury taxes, hopefully, you have to pay. You aggregate all those together, they're not going to equal the dummy tax that I've paid. And I'm willing to pay the dummy tax for you. The easiest way to get to where you want to be, regardless of the industry, the career, the job, the business, is to find the person that sits in the situation you want to be in and ask them for directions. It's the easiest and fastest way to get to where you want to go.
Love that. That's fantastic information. I mean, I think that's really important for people who are struggling to make a jump or to even start, right? To go from 0 to point 0.5. Um, One of the last really important questions, I know we're running out of time, is wanted to make sure I asked you. You are a hustler and you do all kinds of you're just involved in a lot. You put out a ton of content. One thing I know I struggle with, and I have other listeners that have said they struggle with it, as they're trying to grow and build their own brands, their own businesses. How do you do such a good job of balancing your hustle with like being a family man? Because you do have kids, you have a wife. So like how do you balance all that?
So there's a weighted balance according to the what, the who, the how, the now. And that weighted balance says every day I determine what I want personally. Every day I determine what do I want experientially. Every day I determine what I want to give, to produce, to be of service and of value to. And what do I want to receive? And I don't try to balance those out 25, 25, 25.
Okay.
I say there is no balance other than the fact that you should give a minimum amount of time to the non negotiables in your life. So, and then create systems and optimize your ability to utilize time in a productive, accessible, and gracious manner. So, for example, I have a set routine, but the best way to make God laugh is to come up with a set routine. So, have an adaptable routine based off of your non negotiables. My number one non negotiable that I attribute and thank my wife for is I take care of myself first. I can't give what I don't have. And the number one thing I want to take care of myself of in this pragmatic world, blending the truth with humankind, is my health. So I spend a minimum of an hour a day on my health. In fact, if my son says, can you help me with my homework, Dad? And I only have an hour left, I'll say no. I got to take care. I'm going jogging. I'm going to go stretch. I'm going to do whatever it is. because my son is second to my health. I spend a minimum of 30 minutes with my 11-year-old son a day, minimum of 30 minutes with my wife, minimum of 2 minutes a day with my teenage daughters. Now, I said minimum, so all you haters and trolls out there, don't say you only spend 2 minutes a day with your daughter. No, I spend a minimum of 2 minutes a day with my teenage daughters. I asked for 5. They gave me 2, but it's
There
a
you go.
minimum. I try to get it even more in, and I spend a minimum of a minute a day with my mom, and then I spend a minimum of 10 minutes a day on that routine, on being a student of my calendar, effectuating the mathematical equation of luck. Attention plus intention equals coincidence. And if I hit those 3 non-negotiables, I'm able not only to balance my health, balance my family, but then balance all that I'm value in the pragmatic world by utilizing and being a student in my calendar, by studying what I have planned, what I don't have planned, and my sleep, because my tomorrow starts today. Like, people ignore sleep. You
Oh
spend a
yeah.
third of your life sleeping.
Right.
Study it. I have an unwinding routine. My day starts at 9 p.m. That doesn't mean I wake up at 9 p.m. I unwind so I can start my next day at a higher frequency. Most entrepreneurs, especially, live what I call the myth of Sisyphus. If they've read Camus, The Stranger, you know that Camus wrote about Sisyphus, who was punished by pushing a boulder to the top of the hill just to have it roll down in the morning.
Right.
That's what most people do. They live their life as a tube, food in, food out. See,
Yes.
not me. I live my life at a higher frequency. I plateau and grow. I never start my day at the bottom. I create the higher frequency, put my body, mind, and soul in a position to recover and to access the greatest source of light, love, and lessons, so that every morning I have a new baseline to know when I'm off of that, understanding how I apply my why by understanding the triggers that put me in a wrong trajectory, that creates resistance, voids, and shortages, that are creating the resistance between what I'm already am, healthy, happy, and wealthy, and what I want to be, by enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential.
That is badass, David. What a great answer, and what a phenomenal takeaway for anyone who struggles with that. Just one last question to build off that. What do you use to organize all that? I know you say your calendar and you talk about it a lot. Is your calendar kind of like your go-to to get stuff done? I know like a lot of people use apps or pen and paper, and then sometimes their calendar. Are you just like all in your calendar? That's like where
I,
everything
I,
is
I
that you're
hate
getting
to
it
be a
done?
commercial for Outlook, but I use Outlook, right? I
Okay.
use straight out PIM applications, personal information management, created by time. And I have 520 rule, which says my objective is to keep all phone calls to 5 minutes, all interviews, meetings, et cetera, to 20 minutes, which I appreciate you always adhering to here. I do make exceptions, right? I'm gonna go a couple minutes over to make sure that I get this point across. But from that calendar, right, I have a desk calendar that I put big events on, just
Okay.
because I know when I'm at my desk, I can see my nephew's birthday is today. He's 27 years old. His name is Josh.
Ah, I
Happy
love it.
birthday, Josh.
Happy
But
birthday,
that's
Josh.
literally the only thing on my calendar, and my son's tournament of champion baseball game at 4:30. Now, meanwhile, I have 31 other planned events during the day, activities I get paid for, activities I don't get paid for, so that I utilize and coordinate with my family and associates within the context of Outlook. So whatever you use, it doesn't matter. The old file of facts, Outlook, Calendar, there's a million different things. My point is, what you pay attention to and give intention to gives you the coincidences you want. You need to use some sort of repository to prioritize your now. Know what's important by knowing your what, your who, and your how. That'll allow you to understand what you should be doing now. The difference between people who are successful, passionate, purposeful, and profitable is they get stuff done. The only way you get stuff done is to know to empower and prioritize what's important first, not what's urgent. Eisenhower has a great matrix of importance versus urgency that you guys should all reach out. I'll give it to you, or go Google it, david@dmeltzer.com. I don't care, but know your what, your who, your how, and your now. Then apply your why. You will expand, grow, and accelerate. The compounding interest effect of all that you desire will occur rapidly and accurately. You don't have to create resistance. This does not have to be hard. You can enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of your own potential. Remember, your potential, not what Dave Meltzer wants for you, not what mommy and daddy want for you, but what you want for you. Don't think about what's missing. Don't think about what's in your way. Don't think about what other people want for you or what you don't want, because that will come faster than anything. Think about what you want, who can help you, how you're going to get it. what you're going to do now to do that, and apply your why, your passion and purpose to that, your inspiration. Motivation will get you up, get you back up, get you started, get you back started. Be connected through and to, inspired, in spirit, the greatest source of light, love, and lessons. I promise you the efficiency, effectiveness, and statistical success, regardless of what career, job, industry you're pursuing, it will come to you rapidly and accurately. You will make more money, you will help more people, and you will have more fun. Reach out to me, david@dmeltzer.com. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. I appreciate you, Shane.
Love it. David, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Awesome podcast. You're the man. Appreciate it.
Anytime, brother. Reach out. We'll do this again. Thank you so much.
Sounds great, man. Thank you. Have a good
Thank
one.
you.